stay. Might as well be with me. AMG to S, codeine cowboy in the flesh. Caught up like the rest, but they.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the So Pretty MB channel. This is So Pretty MB and we are in podcast mode. All right, you guys. So cuffing season is approaching, as you guys can see in the bio. Before we get into dating and getting into the whole idea of getting ourselves involved with people, we got to ask ourselves some questions for real so we can avoid heartbreak, so we can avoid confusion, drama, anything that we don't want to deal with. So there are a few things that I feel like you need to ask whenever you are trying to find yourself interacting with people and getting into a relationship. This is from my own personal experience and not, and also from like just perspectives from other people as well and what they've experienced. So I would say whenever you are dealing with somebody, ask yourself, like, is this an ideal situation for me? Is this something that I can handle right now? Can I afford to date? Because a lot of people get in situations where they're struggling with people. And we all know like couples that struggle together. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, what do we struggle? Like, I can struggle by myself. Like they say, I can do bad by myself. I'm not about to do bad with you. I'm not about to sit here and stress myself out and go through X, Y, and Z and financially not be able to take care of myself, all because I have a new partner or I have somebody like a tag along, basically. A lot of people don't ask themselves, like, can I actually afford to date? Dating is expensive for women, at least for me. Dating is expensive for men, I can imagine. Are you able to provide what you're asking for yourself? A lot of times, like, and I said it in my other video, women will sit here and require a man to pay all these bills, do X, Y, and Z, and can't even do it themselves. Like, you didn't have your hair done 2 weeks ago. You didn't have your hair done 2 months ago, and all of a sudden you get in a relationship and you're saying, oh, you need to kick out because you need to do my hair, you need to do this, you need to do that. You didn't have this done before you were dating this person. So what makes you think that all of a sudden you need to adopt this TikTok personality or this whatever personality that you don't already have? Like, you don't have it. You're not on that frequency, and you're not about to make this man put you on this frequency. And even for the men that are out there taking advantage of women, because a lot of men are hobosexuals. Hobosexuals. For the people that don't know what hobosexuals are, those are men that move into houses and apartments with women that take care of them. Their name is on the lease. Not the man, but you got men that will literally move in with a woman and just pay 50-50 and just be completely happy with that and just expect for that whole narrative to work out perfectly fine. Now, for some people, it works out because maybe they need the help. But I don't think that's the best situation that you could find yourself in, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work because this person is here for a specific reason. There's a reason why they don't want to go home. There's a reason why they don't want to go back to their dad's house or their aunt's house or whatever the case is. Like, it's a reason why they probably are comfortable where you are. That AC booming, okay? The Wi-Fi jumping, the food going. They can do whatever they want in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, the lie, cheat, steal, do whatever they want and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself questions as far as like compatibility as well. Like, do we belong together? What are your morals? What are your values? Like, what wakes you up in the morning and guides you? That's how those are questions that I'm going to start asking. Those are questions I've been asking. Like, what drives you? What are things that build your character? What are things that have torn you down? Like, what's a safe space look like for you? We got to start asking questions, because a lot of times we jump in situations where we end up getting to know. And here's the thing, you'll never know a person 100%, no matter what it is, however long y'all been together. You got people that have been married 40, 50 years and they're constantly changing. They have to. We have to constantly change. So I'm always in the fact of like, okay, I want to give a person a few seasons of getting to know them before I'm like, yeah, I want to date you, or yeah, I want to be serious with you, or if they ask me if they want to be serious with me, vice versa. So I'm going to pay attention to how you act in every season. From when we first met, that honeymoon stage. Please don't be blinded by the honeymoon stage, y'all. The honeymoon stage is what will get y'all into situations that you do not need to be in whatsoever. Women have rose-colored glasses on when it comes down to that honeymoon stage, because they feel like whoever that representative is them. They don't realize, like, there's this thing called 90-day representative. You are your very best self. You are showing up, you calling every day, you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing to get this woman or this man. You're being consistent, you're cleaning up, you're doing all of these things, and the whole time you're not on that frequency. So it's going to get exposed eventually because you can't keep up with that. For instance, that's why people steal. People steal because they can't keep up with that frequency. It's not theirs. They got to keep doing it. And that's why it's not good to do. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't lie. You shouldn't cheat. You really shouldn't do a lot of things, honestly. But hey, it is what it is. But and we're not perfect. We're all human, and this is all a trial and error thing. We know better, so we got to do better now. You got to treat people better, and I'm working on it myself. I'm working on just developing better relationships with women and men, and just family, everything like that. Okay, so back to the questions that you need to ask yourself when you are dating somebody. What is the goal? Because you got situations where you might end up with somebody that has different expectations than you. You might find somebody that works better being monogamous. You might find somebody that works better in a polygamous situation where you date multiple people or you just have like an open relationship. Me personally, I don't, it is what it is. I like to go with the flow and whatever works. I feel like going with the flow can help and hurt because you got to be able to set boundaries. And when you go with the flow, you kind of like leave room for certain things, and we don't want to do that. Getting to know a person is extremely important because you don't know their intentions. You don't know it's probably a lust situation. Chances are, however you met the person, is the physical attraction, and you don't really know them. Taking the time to ask them questions like, what are things that you haven't healed from? What's something that people might complain about? I like to ask the hard questions. I like to get into it because what your finances look like. What we into? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to find out regardless. Especially if you want to be in a fully committed relationship with me, I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to, especially because I know me personally, I date to marry. My goal is to end up in a happy, fruitful marriage. I ask questions that I know for a fact that I might have to deal with certain stuff later. So let me get on it right now. Like, okay, what type of habits do you have? What are things that you struggle with? What are some things that people complain about? How'd your last relationship end? How did you treat that person? I'm asking all of it because I need to know, because chances are even if a person is a better individual than who they were from their last relationship, things that they have done to that previous person doesn't exempt you. So you might feel like, oh, okay, you might be a girl or a guy, whatever, you go, oh yeah, she would never do that to me. She did that to her ex, but she would never do that to me. You are not exempt, love. You are right in the same pool as everybody else. And I don't want to go into it with that mentality of like, you ain't did it yet, but you will. It's kind of like you got to let people hang themselves. That's what you do. You maintain your individuality and you let people hang themselves. That's what you do. Because at the end of the day, that person is not going to be able to maintain that representative at all. If they are who they say they are, then it's going to show. They're going to be able to maintain that frequency because it's theirs. They didn't have to fight for it. They didn't have to pull teeth. They didn't have to do anything. That's just who they are. They're a caring person. They might be a loving person or whatever the case is. A lot of times, and I've even been in a situation where I felt like I knew somebody after like 90 days or whatever the case is. And I was just like, oh, I know them. They would never do this. They would da-da-da-da-da. Whole time having a field day. Okay? Boo-boo fool was looking like a clown. And we all go through that. We all experience that. And one piece of advice I would give to myself, one piece of advice I would give to you guys with dating is the 3Ds. 3Ds. If there's drama, if there's dysfunction, and if there's dismissiveness, I'm out. Any of the three, I'm out. Because it's too much going on. For instance, with drama, of course, nobody wants to be in drama. By the time something comes back to me, it's too much going on because you're being messy. That's exactly what it is. And you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Same thing for women. If girls, y'all, and that's the thing, a lot of times, like, women don't get caught for certain things, but I'm calling y'all out and I'm holding us accountable because we have to do better because we know better. We gotta be able to just treat people better. If you have no intentions if you just have the thoughts of like, man, I would love to be with that guy, but you're cheating on him, or you're lying to him, or you're not being fully honest and transparent, you can't expect for that relationship to work, because you're not on that frequency of honesty, of love, of trust, of everything that you're expecting from this person. Because you would be sick if they handled you the way that you handled them. You would. We got to hold ourselves accountable for the things that we're doing. Dysfunction. Every time you turn around, is something going on. Here, think of it like this. If you got a best friend, right? And y'all don't never argue, y'all don't fight, it's never no dysfunction. Think about the relationships that you have, the healthy relationships in your life. Like, is it feeding me? Does it make me feel good about myself? Is there always drama and dysfunction? No, chances are y'all have a smooth time. Y'all love each other. You respect each other, and you respect each other's time and space and boundaries. You got to have people like that in your corner. You can't just get off of the whole thing of like, oh my God, I'm attracted to you. You're so beautiful, or you're so fine. Like, I'm about to just put up with you because you're gorgeous or you're fine. Like, no, because at the end of the day, like, that pretty smile ain't gonna like dry your tears when she cheats on you, or if she lies to you, or if she betrays you in any way, shape, or form, or if you find out she's being deceitful. It's that him being so fine ain't gonna change the fact that you crying in the mirror, because this person is mistreating you or abusing you in any way, shape, or form. You got to be able to set boundaries for yourself. So when you going into this cuffing season, you better make sure that you ask yourself, like, what am I looking for interacting with this person? Even if you aren't looking for a relationship, you don't have to be, and this is one thing I tell everybody, and I've been saying this since college. You do not have to be in a relationship with me in order to treat me right. I just want you to respect me. I just want you to handle me with grace. I want you to handle me with the utmost respect. Treat me like how you would treat your mother. And you also have to pay attention to that too. What type of relationship do these women have with their fathers? What type of relationship these men have with their mothers? Vice versa. You have to just ask everything, because you need to know who you're dealing with. And even when you get with a person, you don't really know them 100%. You never will, because we are constantly evolving. We're constantly changing. And eventually, if things aren't working out, if you are focusing on changing and improving your lifestyle and everything like that, eventually the people that were toxic to you, the people that wouldn't commit to you or gave you the hardest time, eventually that shit is just going to fall off. You're not going to have to worry about drama or dysfunction or any type of behavior like that. And then the third D is dismissiveness. There's a lot of times where people go to people and say, hey, like, I operate better when you do this, or hey, like, what's a good example? Like, I just operate better with this. If you don't handle me this way, if you do handle me this way. A lot of times people don't listen until it's too late. And then they're in a situation that they don't want to be in. They done lost the love of their life, or they done lost the person that they were interested in, all because they were dismissive and they didn't take what they said serious. So don't be out here wasting people's time. If you know for a fact you don't have intentions on making sure that this person is taken care of and they're straight, and there's no dysfunction, there's no drama, there's no dismissiveness going on, and there is respect in the room, you cannot fail. You will not lose. So always ask yourself these questions. I mean, you guys might have other questions that you might want to ask yourself with dating, but these are questions that I'm going to ask now. Like, these are things that I need to know. What type of relationship do you have with your parents? What are things that you struggle with? Like, pay attention to those things, because those are things that involve you. It's going to involve you in some way, shape, or form. So it's like, you might as well get down to the point. That's why I just try to be honest and upfront with people in the beginning about how I am, my character traits, things that people complain about, X, Y, and Z, because it's like, you're going to eventually find out anyway, because I can't hide who I really am. If I'm a dramatic individual, you're going to see I'm dramatic. I can't sit here and say, oh, I'm super serious and nothing ever happens and da-da-da-da-da. No, like, you're going to find out exactly who I am after a while. The only thing that separates you from knowing whether this person really messes with you or not, or really likes you or not, is time. That's it. Because understand, that representative stage is a hell of a stage. They are putting on their very best armor. they're going to seem like the knight in shining armor. They're going to seem like the perfect girl. You have to be mindful and pray for discernment and ask God to help you, or whoever your higher power is, to help guide you, to help you like navigate through dating, especially if you want it to go a certain type of way. You have to work on yourself. That's the best thing you can ever do. When you're working on yourself, you don't have to worry about attracting. What you attract is one thing, but what you allow and what you accept is different. So remember that. Because I can attract everything in the world if I want, but what I accept is different. That has something to do with me working on myself. Maintaining a sense of individuality is extremely important to me in my relationships, because I still focus on my relationship with God. I focus on my relationship with the person that I'm dealing with, and I'm focusing on being a better person. So whether I'm working out, whether I'm making content, or whether I'm doing something to contribute to my future, that's why I just want to make sure that you have the best person on your team, because one of the most important decisions that you can ever make is the partner that you choose. And it's either going to be the reason why you have everything or the reason why you lose it all. And I've been in both situations. So it's like, you have to like take the time and customize your experience for real, because my personality type may not be for this man. It just may not work. We probably have two different morals, values, goals, everything. You have to ask those questions. You got people that don't even know their person's goals or what their favorite food is, and they've been with them for years. I've seen videos on TikTok where dudes were like, oh yeah, I spent 6 years with a girl, I didn't even like her. Like, men will literally do whatever you allow them to do. You gotta, and this is where your boundaries come in. So before you go into this cuffing season, you guys, make sure you sit down and you write a list out of questions that you want to ask this person, so you can really get to know who you're with, so that you can have a certain experience. Just because you know certain things about the person, that doesn't mean that that's what it is and it's set in stone, because people, like I say, we constantly change, we constantly evolve, and we got to ask ourselves these questions, because you need to know who you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with a person that ain't, and you agree to that, then hey, you need to accept what comes with it. If you're dealing with somebody that's saying that they have integrity, if you're dealing with somebody that says that they love you, and you get the utmost respect, their actions need to reflect that. And you need to hold them accountable for it. Now, if it's so much dysfunction, dismissiveness, and drama to the point where it distracts y'all from what y'all have going on for y'all to be able to be together, then at that point, it's done. It's done. It's too much going on. So we're going to wrap it up, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in to the So Pretty MB channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is the most sporadic channel on YouTube. For those that are returning, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. This is So Pretty MB, and peace out. I don't know, I'm getting home. I've been sipping on stuff. Baby, shit ain't got big on you.